morning, my child. Let us go further on after this exercise 1.1 completed. Now, next point is represent root 2 on a number line. Now, see, this is the irrational number. How we represent that irrational number on a number line? First, we have to see about the rational number. Let us see for rational number. Suppose I want to represent 3 upon 4 on number line. Then what can I do? I draw one line. Then after I know that this is a positive number, so that's why here I will take 0 and write positive number only. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 and so on. Now here we can see that this is the upward number, that is a p. P is equal to 3, so that's why we know that 3 is here. But in the down denominator is given here, it is 4. So what we have to do? We have to divide whole number line with the 4. Okay, so here we divide by 4, here we divide by 4, 4, 4. Okay, so in the denominator, whatever number given, we have to divide that number line with particular number. So see, now we can see that 3 upon 4 is given right over here. Now we have to highlight this. Okay, so this is the representation of rational number, but here it is given of irrational number. How can we represent the irrational number on a number line? Let us see. First of all, again we have to draw the number line like this way. First point is draw a x. Then after, from any point B, draw 1 centimeter line on a number line. The name is given C. Okay. Then after, what you have to do? You have to draw the perpendicular. How can you draw the perpendicular on the number line? So you have to use your protractor. With the help of protractor, you can draw the perpendicular. Also, one other matter, with the help of compass, you can also draw the perpendicular. Now see, I am drawing perpendicular with the help of semicircle. Okay. So with the help of semicircle, we can draw here the perpendicular. It is also called as a protractor. Okay. So here it is denoted the number angles. Suppose 0 degree, 10, 20, 30 up to 180, and again here it is start from 0 to 180. Okay, so what you have to do? You have to take this point on this number line point. Okay, and this line is adjust on this line. Okay, so then after you have to see that exactly 90 degrees written here. So that's why you have to just do the one point on that particular perpendicular direction. So then after you have to use your scale. Then with the help of scale, you can draw 1 centimeter line right over here. This is 1 centimeter. This is 1 centimeter again. Okay. Now give that it is a D. Now this B to D is the distance of root 2. Okay. So we have to represent root 2 on a number line. This is root 2. We know that this distance BD is root 2, but it is not represented on number line. We have to represent on this line. Then how can you represent? Then use the compass, and with the help of compass, make one point as B and pencil at D. Okay. Then after you have to draw one arc here. Okay. So up to B to D distance, with the help of compass, draw one arc here. Then this distance B to E. B to E distance is your root 2. Okay. So this is the representation of the rational number on a number line. Okay. So do you get it? Now suppose you want to draw root 3. Then how can you represent it? Root 3, for root 3 what can you do? You have to do the same process for up to this. Then after you have to draw again here 90 degree angle. Take a 90 degree angle and draw 1 centimeter line segment. Then after this is also 1 centimeter. Then this distance is it is root 3. Okay. Then again 1 centimeter, root 4. Again 1 centimeter, root 5. So if you want to find out some more numbers with the help of this method, then you can use this method. This is called as a spiral. Okay. Why? Because it is like as a spring. So that's why we can say that it is a spiral of a number line. Okay. So with the help of that, suppose you want to represent root 5, then you have to use the compass and make this much distance and again do arc on this line. Okay. Do you get it? Now see, here we have to write the points that what can we have to do in this process. Okay. So what you have done first? First you have draw the AX line. So steps, draw line AX. Okay. Then after, what is the next? Draw B to C. Draw B to C. Line segment is equal to, line segment is represented by this, line is represented by this, and then after ray is represented by this way. Okay. So now see here, what is the distance of line segment BC? It is equal to 1 centimeter on number line. Okay. So on AX, line AX. Done. Then after, what is your next step? In the third, you have to draw the perpendicular CD of 1 centimeter. Draw perpendicular CD of 1 centimeter. CD is equal to 1 centimeter. Okay. Then what is your next step? Then join point B to D. Fourth number, join BD is equal to how much? It is root 2. Okay. Now with the help of compass, next step, with compass, take distance, take BD is equal to root 2 and draw arc, and draw arc on number line. Okay. Then after, what next? That B to E, this is denoted by E. So B to E distance is equal to, in the last, B to E distance is equal to root 2. So it is represented on the number line. So root 2 is represented on number line. Now it is clear. Then suppose you want to represent root 3, then again you have to complete these steps, and then after you have to say that from D make a perpendicular of BD with 1 centimeter. Then after again join that BF point, it is root 3. Then again root 4, root 5. So on you have to go further on. Suppose you want to calculate the large number, then what is the procedure? I will be explaining you. Now see here. That much is clear. Now next, represent root 17 we have to represent root 17 on a number line. Now see here, how can we represent root 17 on a number line? That means we know that if we do the 4 square plus 1 square is equal to 4 square, that is 16, and 1 square is equal to 1. So that's why it is 17. Okay. Now first of all, if you represent any irrational number on a number line, then one theorem you have to keep in mind, Pythagoras theorem. Pythagoras theorem. Okay. What is Pythagoras theorem? The square of a diagonal is equal to the square of other side square and then do the addition of that particular number. Okay. So suppose I have the right angle triangle. Here it is required that it is obvious right angle triangle. In the last we have already seen that we draw the perpendicular, so that's why that angle can be 90 degree. Okay, so that's why it is called as a right angle. So here I am taking ABC. Now see, this is called as a diagonal. The opposite side of the 90 degree angle is called as a diagonal. So this diagonal square, this diagonal AC square is equal to other side square and then addition. That means sum of the other side square. Okay, so AB square plus BC square. Now see, we have done that it is root 2. How can we get this is root 2? Because this is 1 centimeter. So here we can check AB square, that means 1 square plus again BC square mean 1 square. Okay, 1 square 1 plus 1 square 1, it is 2. Okay, now AC square is equal to 2, then AC is equal to, we have took square root on both the sides, so that's why AC is equal to root 2. Okay, so this way we can find the answer root 2 of that particular number. Okay, so that's why we have to represent the number on the number line with the help of this Pythagoras theorem. Again I have to explain you what is the Pythagoras theorem. That means diagonal square is equal to the sum of the other side square. That means other side is AB square plus BC square. Okay, so this is the sum of the other side square. Okay, now it is clear. Now here we can see that the root 17. How can we get 17? Then we know that 4 square plus 1 square. Okay, so that's why here we are taking on the number line see, it is 4 square, that is mean 16. For what is 16? Here 1 1 ja 1. So that's why 16 plus 1 it is 17. Now see here we have to represent it on number line. Then what is your first step? You have to draw AX line. You can choose any name, like as I choose CD, then AD, XZ. Okay, so that is dependent on you. Now this is the point B. Then after I will be took 1 centimeter or maybe 4 centimeter, whatever you want to take. Okay, so I will take here 4 centimeter on number line. Then after I have to draw 1 centimeter. This is the other side, so that's why I draw 1 centimeter here. Okay, so this is the, so now B to D, this distance is of root 17. Okay, how we know that this is the 90 degree angle because we have drawn perpendicular. Okay, so this is BD square, that means diagonal square is equal to sum of other side square. Okay, so CD square plus BC square. Now we know that what is CD square? It is 1 square plus BC square, that is 4 square. Okay, so we know that 1 square 1 plus 4 square 16 is equal to 17. Now BD square is equal to 17. So BD is equal to how much? We have to do the square root on both the sides because we have to remove this square. Okay, so here it is root 17, whereas here it is root, but root and square both are cancelled. Okay, so that's why BD is equal to root 17. So this way you can draw the root 17 on the number line. Then after you with the help of compass take the distance BD and then draw arc on this way. Okay, so that's B to E is the distance is root 17. Done. Then after we go for the exercise 1.2. What is say that exercise 1.2 check the sentences true or false. Okay, so here exercise 1.2 question 1, check it is true or false. So where the first question is every irrational number is a real number. We say that yes, we know that S subset of R, so that's why we say that every irrational number is a real number, so that's true. Okay, thereafter in the second it is given that for every point in a natural number for number line it gives us root m on it. Okay, so every point of the number line give root m on a number line. So see here, if we are taking positive number, positive number square root is obvious on like as root 2, root 3. It is obvious on number line in the right hand side of that particular number. Okay, but here if we are taking minus 2, minus 1, minus 6, what happened? We know the square root of this positive number, but here we cannot take the negative in the square root. So that's why we can say that it is not represented in the root m form of the particular negative number. So that's why here it is false. So you have to write that for any natural number, for any natural number n, we get root m on number line but here the answer root m is obvious positive. Root m is positive. If it is negative, then what happened? The square root of a negative number not come in a negative, it obvious positive. So that's why, see, suppose we are taking minus 4, then we know that what is the result of that. You learn this in the further standard. So see, that answer will be again plus. If you are going to do the square root of that particular number of a negative number, then it will be obvious positive. So that's why we can say that here if it is a negative, then the answer also be will positive of root n, positive of root n. Okay, so it is false. So that's why your first one is true, then second one is false. What is the reason? Then here we take that for any natural number m, we get root m on number line which is positive. Okay, if it is negative, then answer will be again positive of root m. So that's why here answer will be in both the cases it is positive. So that's why we can say that it is a false. Why? Because it is said that it is a type of n, like as a integers and also other numbers will be taken. So that's why in the number line we know that there is also negative number, so where we cannot get the answer of root m is negative. Okay, then after next third one says that every real number is a irrational number. Every real number is a irrational number. So no, because this is the largest set and this is the smallest set. So then third one is a false. Okay. Then next question number 2. Here it is denoted that every positive integer's square root is irrational. Question number 2. Every positive integer's square root is irrational. Is every positive integer's square root irrational? Then here we can say that no, it is not irrational, because no, it is not irrational, because why? What is the reason? Suppose you are taking root 2. This is the positive integers, but answer will be what? This answer will be irrational. Okay, we have already learned that the root 2 is the irrational number. That's why the answer will be irrational. But next root 3. In this case also it is irrational, but now we are taking root 4. What will be the answer? Root 4, the answer will be 2. This is also positive integers, answer will be 2. This is the rational number. Here it is given that it is an irrational number. So no, this is why it for every positive integers square root of square root may or may not be irrational. May or may not be. Okay, so you can say that here for every positive integers, here it is irrational, but here it is not a irrational, it is a rational. Okay, so that's why this is a false. We say that no, for every positive integer square root may or may not be irrational. Okay, why? Because here it is rational. Then question number 3. Question number 3 says that we have to represent root 5 on number line. We already see that particular root 5. Again I will explain about root 5 on number line. Question number 3. See, how can we represent root 5 on a number line? Then first of all, you know that you have to draw that AX. Then take any B to C is equal to, now see here what we have taken here, we know that 2 square it is 4 plus 1 square it is 1. So 2 square it is 4 plus 1, that is 5. So that's why here we are taking both the sides as 2 and 1. Okay, so you can take 2 here also and here also, that is dependent on you. So here I will be taking here, and this is 1 centimeter, so this distance B to D is equal to root 5. Okay, this is one method. Then again we have seen in the first question that first draw for root 2, then again for root 3, root 4, root 5. So that is also true. Here you can make the with the help of a compass draw B to D distance and draw here one arc. So this is B to E distance is your root 5. Okay, so is it clear? Then what is the spiral? We know that what is the spiral. Question 4 is what is the spiral? when we have already studied in the example number 1 that represent root 2 on the number line. In this case we have seen that we have taken B to C is equal to 1 centimeter, so here we have to take 1 centimeter, so this is root 2. Again we have to draw the perpendicular, this distance is root 3. Again we have to draw perpendicular, this is root 4. Again perpendicular, root 5, root 6. So here we can say that this is the spiral. In the further you can go, it is look like this way. Okay, so this is called as a spiral. Why? Because its shape is look like a spiral. Then after you have to do in your homework, this is your homework. Represent this number root 30 and root 70. You have to do this in your homework, okay? And whatever board work I have done here, you have to write that in your classwork notebook, okay? So then what is the next? Next is real number and their decimal places. Next point is real number and their decimal places. Decimal place here, or you can say that decimal form. Okay. Now here we can see that we can find the decimal number with the help of several methods. Here we can do the division. Suppose I want to find out the 1 divided by 6. Then what will be the answer? Then what can I do? Divide 1 by 6. Okay. So see here, 1 is the smaller one, it is bigger. So that's why we cannot go further on. So that's why what we have to do? Add 0 and put here decimal point. Then after you say that 6 1 ja 6, it will be 4. Here again you take 0. That is not needed to point again here. Okay. One time you have do the point here right over here. Then you can write here 0 and 1 0. Okay. Then after you have to again put second 0. Then you have to write 0 here. Okay. Then 6 6 36. Again 4. Again we know that 0 is down. 6 6 34, 36, 4. So this process is going to be continued further on. Why? Because the remainder is going to be 4. So this is called as a decimal representation of particular real number. Okay. So here we can write this way. Also you can write that 1 upon 6 is equal to 0.16 bar. The number which is repeated, we have to do the bar on that particular only number. Okay. Suppose the two numbers are repeated, then we have to do the bar on that both number. Okay. Now it is clear. Now what is next? We have to write the 10 upon 3 in decimal form. Okay. We have write 10 upon 3 in decimal form. See again what we have to do. 10 divided by 3, 3 3 9, 1. Again next point 0, 3 3 9. Now 1. Now no need to put a point. Again take 0, 3 3 9. So in this way it will come up to infinite. So that's why this is also going to be infinite. So what is the decimal form of that? 3.33 is 3.33 is written like as only 3 is repeated form. So we have to do okay. Not we are doing the 33 bar. Why? Because only 3 is repeated, not 33 is repeated. Okay, so only one number is repeated, then we have to do the bar on that particular one number. Okay, it is clear. Then next, three point 142678 is a rational or irrational. We have to check that number, and we have to write in the P upon Q form. 3.142678. We have to write this in the P upon Q form, and where it is rational or irrational. We know that if the number is stopped after the decimal point, then it will be obvious rational number. Okay, so we can write this number in the form of this way. Suppose after point there is a how many number? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 number. Then you have to put the 0 after 1 up to 6. Okay, so this will be your answer. This is of the P upon Q form where Q does not equal to 0. Here we are not taking Q is equal to 0. It is 10 lakh. Okay, clear. Then after question number, next question, that suppose here given 0.3 bar. Here I have the number 0.3 bar. Then how can I represent that number in the P upon Q form? Then what you have to take, x is equal to 0.3333 up to infinite. Okay, so this is the 3 bar, so that's why we can write here 333. Okay, now we know that it is a 3 is only number which is repeated, so that's why we have to multiply by 10. If 2-digit number are repeated, then we have to multiply by 100, 3-digit, then 1000. Okay, so here it is 3.333. When we have multiplied with any number, then to decimal point step towards right side, and when divided by any number, then it will be step towards left side. Okay, so here 10x is equal to this one. Now we know that we rewrite this number in the form of addition of two rational number. This is 3 plus 0.333333. Okay, now I know that what is the value of this one. This is already given here. It is x. I put x here. Then this is x. This is x. We have to combine the same this steps. So then 10x. Now here it is plus x. So we have to take it left side. So it is minus x. Answer will be 3. 10x minus x. It is 9x is equal to 3. Then x. 9 is multiplied with x, so that's why if it is going to the right side, then it will be going in the denominator. Opposite reaction are done in the process of multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. So we know that here plus, it will be going to minus. Suppose it is minus, then it will be going to plus. Here it is multiply, then it is going to be in divide. If it is in the divide, then it is going to be multiply. Okay, now is it clear? Now we know that this is 3 3 9, so that's why the answer will be 1 upon. This is of P upon Q form. So now one another point is that you have to keep in mind, first one is terminating number. Terminating. Then second one is non-terminating. Terminating recurring. Then third one is non-terminating, non-recurring. Here it is non-terminating, non-recurring. Now what is the meaning of these terms? First one is the terminating. That means after the decimal point, which number are going to be stopped. Suppose I have right here 3.78. So it will be stopped after two numbers. Then after again I will take 7.005. So it will be again stopped after 5. Here terminating recurring, that means the number which is not stopped and going to be repeated. So now see here, what is the terminating recurring? Then at that time that number is 0.33333 and so on. Okay. So this is terminating recurring. Okay. Then sorry, here it is non-terminating. Second one is non-terminating recurring. And here the third one is also non-terminating non-recurring. Okay. So what is non-terminating recurring? That means the number which not non-terminating, that means it will be not stopped after decimal. And recurring means the number particular number after the decimal is repeated sequence. So here it is 3 is repeated. Suppose I will write here 4728 bar. Then here 4728 4728 repeated. So that's why it is called as a non-terminating recurring. Terminating means the number which is stopped after the decimal. Here the non-terminating, that means the number which is not stopped after the decimal. But recurring, that means recurring, which number are recurring? Recurring means after the decimal the number will be repeated. Okay. Then after here we can say that non-terminating non-recurring. In this we can include the number which are of the form of √2, √3. The answer will be not stopped after the decimal, and also it will be not repeated. Okay. So I'll be taking example of that. Okay. So you can see that this number are not stopped after decimal. So it is called as a non-terminating. And what is non-recurring? That means this number is not repeated. Suppose here it is 001 and again it will be the next point is 001, but it is 0001. So that's why it is not repeated. So it is called as a non-terminating non-recurring. Clear? Then what is your next step? You have to write 1.27 bar in P upon Q form. 1.27 bar in P upon Q. What is the P upon Q? Then again here we have take here x is equal to 1.27, 27 and so on. Now here we know that there is a two number are repeated, so that's why we will multiply with 100x. So when you multiply, the decimal place is going to be right hand side. So here the decimal point is going to be right hand side, two steps, so that's why it is 27. Now again we require the addition of this number with particular this number in that form. So that's why 126 plus 1.27 27. Okay. So here we can say that if we are do the addition of this four, then again we will get 127.27 27. Okay. So here we know that what is the value of 1.27 27, it is x, because here we are taking already that number. Then after bring x on the left hand side. Why? Because this term and this term are both same of x. Okay, so that's why we are doing this one. Then this is 126. Here we know that 100x minus x, that is 99x, is equal to 126. Then here 99 is multiplied with x, so that's why it is going to be right hand side. It will be 126 upon 99. Okay, so this will be the answer of P upon Q form. Okay, where you have to write Q does not equal to G. Clear? Then what is your next? Suppose the number of the form of 0.235, where 235 is in the repeated form. Then here again same process, 0.23535 and so on. Now here we know that two numbers are repeated, so here we write 100x, so it will be 23.535. Okay, sorry, one mistake is there. 2353535 and so on, these two numbers are repeated, so here we will multiply with the 100. It is clear. Okay, it is right. Now see, here we have to write this number in the form of the addition of two rational number. Now see here. Here I will write like this way. 23 point. Here I required 2, so that's why I will take 3 here, and the answer will be 23535. Okay, it is clear. See, if I am doing the addition of this both, again I will be get this number. So that's why I will be write this way. Okay. Then after we know that what is the value of 0.235235? It is x. So it is x. Again x term will be left side, minus x is equal to 23.3. Then again 100x minus x is equal to 99x is equal to 23.3. So x is equal to 23.3 divided by 99. We know that if you remove this point, then what we have to do? We have to multiply with 10 in the denominator. So that's my answer will be 233 divided by 990. This is of your P upon Q form. Okay, is it clear? Now, what is your next step? You have to find out irrational number between two rational number. Okay, or also find irrational number between two rational numbers. Find irrational number between two rational numbers. Okay, now see here, how can we find out? Suppose here it is given that 1 upon 7 and 2 upon 7. 1 upon 7 and 2 upon 7. Now see, here we divide 1 upon 7, then answer will be 0.142857. You can find this answer with the help of division. Now here answer will be your 0.285714. 0.285714. Okay, so this is the answer of the 2 upon 7 and 1 upon 7. We have to find out the any rational number between irrational number between two rational number. Now see here, this is 0.142857 and so on. This is 0.285714. Okay, we know that in the 0.14 we have to see only two digits. Okay, so in the between of 14 and 28 there is so many numbers, so I will write it like this way, 15. Then after you don't have to write in the repeated form. Why? Because if you are write in the repeated sequence like this way, then what happen? It is going to be a rational number. So that's why we cannot write in the sequence like this way, 5 7 9 2 0 1 3 4 5. Okay, so this is your irrational number between two rational number. Okay, you can take again 0.15, then after 0.16, 0.17 up to 0.27. Also you can go up to 3 decimal, then you can take 0.15, 38, 0.1537. So there are so many numbers between these two rational number. Okay, then we learn next in your next class. Swadhyay exercise 1.3. We learn exercise 1.3 in your next class. Okay, I hope everyone enjoy my class and everyone learn very carefully. And what is your homework? You have to do this all board work in your notebook, and already I have given you a homework. Okay, clear now? Thank you.
Like, share and subscribe the channel Tropiconitrus Education and press the bell icon for more updates.